The 5 components are as such. There are 2 budget bills that represent each half of the fiscal year. The first would be a stopgap, but the stopgap bill would not proceed without the other bills as part of the package. I don't want it to be another recurring resolution process as happens in Congress, because that's destructive. So what it would do would ensure that school districts and human service providers would be able to not have their funding streams disrupted as we continue to grapple with the budget. The second half would be the actual final budget that would go from January to June and would carry more of the governor's priorities on funding. Then there'd be 2 revenue bills, one that raises the personal income tax modestly from 3.07 to 3.5 for half the period, and then drops down to 3.25. Still a very modest proposal when you compare us with other states' income tax. But it raises roughly over $1 billion in new revenue that can be utilized for property tax reduction, which I talk about in the proposal. It also provides for greater exemptions on the property tax, or the personal income tax, as far as who pays it. Basically ensuring that most senior citizens in the state will pay nothing, and that families of $40,000 or less will pay nothing in PIT tax. But the bulk of it would go towards dealing with the structural deficit, which is a real problem that we have to deal with.
Okay.
The other revenue bill is a sales tax bill. It raises the sales tax from 6% to 7% like our neighboring states. Food and clothing would still be exempt, which gives us an advantage. It would utilize the $1.7 billion from that package to go completely into providing school property tax relief. $300 million from the PIT increase would be added to that to drive out $2 billion in school property tax relief to Pennsylvanians across the Commonwealth. There also is a provision to tax such items as spas, tattoos, tanning, a few other items that together raises about $600 million that would be dedicated solely to public education to make up for the cuts in education under the Corbett administration. And then finally there's the school property tax relief bill itself, which would take the $2 billion and drive it out, hopefully along the lines of what Governor Wolf has proposed.